Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop. And the Sabrina one has just been or actually official, not leaked, it's been officially unveiled, right? And we have the official images of the Sabrina one. So she's a WNBA player, of course, and she is getting her own signature shoe. So as far as the release date goes, so it's supposed to be released in the summer of 2023, and it's gonna retail for 125 bucks, which sucks. That's pretty expensive for a first signature shoe. You know, remember like a long time ago, it used to be 110. You know what I mean? So because of inflation and stuff like that, I guess 125 is the new starting price for first signature shoes, I guess. You know, because like Kyrie one, the PG one, the Zoom Freak one, I believe was even like 120. Well, I think it was 110 or 120 bucks. I'm not 100% sure, but still 125 bucks is still a little steep, but the tech is actually pretty damn nice. So yeah, as far as the aesthetics go, so we got 3 colorways that have been officially unveiled, and honestly the colorways are pretty damn sick, and I did post this on Instagram and a lot of you guys did like it. I don't know why, because when the LeBron 20s came out, a lot of you guys, a lot of you guys liked it, right? But also a lot of you guys didn't like it because it looked like a copy of a Kobe, which I like that because, you know, they're not making Kobe's anymore, and I like the way Kobe's look, you know. So this to me personally looks like a mix of like a Kyrie and like a Kobe, you know what I mean? And that's of course a very, very good thing because, yeah, obviously it looks great. But also, as far as the designer goes, so the designer is, or the main designer is Ben, right? Ben Nathonkame? Ben, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly, but he is the designer of KYRIES line. So he was the main designer for the Sabrina one, and I can see some, you know, some of his like inspiration, you know what I mean? I can see some of his design in this actual shoe. So as far as the outsole goes, so the outsole looks great. It looks to be a modified herringbone traction pattern, and in this colorway that we have, it's like a semi-translucent outsole, and then in the middle, like it's like a line going through the entire outsole. We have solid rubber, and it's pretty cool because that line goes all the way across the outsole and comes up into the heel to make an eye. And of course, Sabrina, her last name starts with an I. I'm sorry, I don't really know how to pronounce it, and I don't really want to butcher it. So, she is Romanian, I believe. Ionescu, Sabrina Ionescu. I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, but yeah. So the outsole looks pretty damn sick. It's a very aggressive type of herringbone, and it looks like it's gonna be good. You know what I mean? But of course, 80% of the performance of an outsole has to do with the rubber compound, you know, just from my personal experience, just because, you know, I've been testing shoes for quite a while, and a lot of times, even the solid rubber outsole can perform differently than a translucent rubber outsole, you know, from like the 808-2 Ultra. Remember the 808-2 Ultra with the blue colorway? That translucent outsole was really good on a clean court, but picked up a crap ton of dust, you know? And then the regular 808-2 with a solid rubber outsole was amazing on any surface. And same thing with the 808-2 Ultra V2. I have a solid rubber outsole, I have like a white one and a yellow one. I actually, I have it right here. So this is solid. It's like a solid white, and this is really good on any surface too. It's just the translucent. And also the same thing with the MB1, right? The MB1 translucent was really good, but the solid outsole was really bad for me, like the low versions, you know what I mean? So the rubber compound is what kind of determines if the outsole has good performance. So hopefully they use a good rubber compound in the Sabrina ones, but the traction pattern looks pretty damn good, right? And then moving on to the cushioning setup. The cushioning setup is something that I'm super duper excited about because they're using full length React, right? Full length React, guys. And I love full length React. I love React. It's one of my favorite foams just because it's super lightweight. You know what I mean? So for example, like Boost is pretty heavy. I mean, if you've seen like the Ultra Boost Light, my review video of that is not out yet, but the Ultra Boost Light, they did, you know, make Boost a little bit lighter, which is great, right? It's actually a lot lighter than the regular Ultra Boost versions, but you know, but for example, Boost is pretty heavy, you know, Bounce is from Adidas is pretty heavy, you know, Nitro Foam from Puma is pretty heavy, but Nike, React is really light, right? So it makes the overall shoe super light, and also it lasts a good amount of time. It doesn't bottom out that quickly like Lunarlon and Cushlon, and it's soft, right? It's soft, has a lot of compression, but also has a good amount of bounce or rebound back, which I really, really like, right? So it's pretty interesting because React usually has like a pattern, you know what I mean? Like Nike gives us like an interesting looking pattern on the actual midsole when they do use React, but here in the Sabrina ones on the lateral side and also on the medial side, it doesn't really look like they're using any type of pattern, which is pretty interesting, but it is React, right? Hopefully it's not like a carrier or anything like that, you know, because I'd be very disappointed, I'd be very sad, and hopefully it's super soft for the actual midsole. So in the heel, it'll probably be nice, hopefully, right? Hopefully. We'll have to see on that though. That's also another thing I don't like about, I guess, like, just foams in general and what companies have been doing with foams. And I feel like Nike and like all the shoe companies do that, you know, like Under Armour, Adidas, and also Nike, where they give us a foam. You know what I mean? And it's super nice in their running shoes or in like their casual shoes, but it's like different all the time. You know what I mean? Like even if they're using React or Cushlon or Lunarlon or even Phylon, you know what I mean? It feels different in every single shoe, every single model. You know, so I feel kind of deceived maybe even, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, oh, this shoe had React and it was super nice, but this shoe had React and it wasn't very nice, you know? So it's just like, that's why I try to tell you guys how it feels rather than the actual tech, because the tech can also be pretty different as far as the foams go. But anyways, yeah, so there is the React there. It's probably just in the heel, and then the forefoot, it's pretty much like fully caged, you know what I mean? Like we have that cage, which we'll get into. But also there is a top-loaded, it said top-loaded zoom unit in the forefoot. And we don't know how big that zoom unit is. I'm guessing it's probably the size of like the PG3 zoom unit. It's kind of like that like oval or like half circle shape. It's probably not the size of like, I don't know, like the Jordan 36 unit or like a Zoom Turbo unit. That's probably not likely just because it's on the cheaper side of things, and also they're already giving us React, you know? So they have to keep the price and like the tech a little bit down. But I am pretty damn excited about the cushioning setup, you know, full-length React with top-loaded zoom in the forefoot, which I'm very happy about. And then the material also doesn't look that bad. You know what I mean? It looks like a very nice textile material. And like we have some embroidered patterns on it as well, which is, of course, it looks great. You know, embroidering actually is pretty hard to do just because it adds a lot of it adds a lot to the price. You know what I mean? Like if you have a material and you want to embroider it, it's pretty hard to do, you know, as far as like manufacturing goes. So I really like how they did that. It looks great in this colorway. We have like a square or like a diamond pattern going throughout the entire like toe box area. It looks very supportive. It looks like a material that's not going to stretch that much, but also it looks like thin, and hopefully it's not glued down too much. But also like on the tip of the toe, it looks like there's another layer of like textile for more support and durability. So that looks great. I do like, it looks good for quality too. You know, it doesn't look super cheap or anything like that, which I do like. Also the tongue, you know, like on the bottom of the tongue, it looks like an open mesh, which is pretty normal. And also on top of the tongue, we have like a strap with the eyelets going through it so that the tongue stays in place. And also we have Sabrina's logo. It's an S with an I in the middle. So that's a pretty cool logo, I guess. It kind of reminds me of like Spencer Dinwiddie's logo a little bit. And then on the medial side, we have a swoosh, but it's like a 45-degree angle in like the heel area, which is a pretty interesting design. It kind of reminds me of the LeBron Witness 6 or 7, I believe it was. But it's on the medial side, right? And also on the lateral side, of course, we have the swoosh, but it also looks like they're not calling it a fly wire, but it looks like fly wire. And also over that, it looks to be like a plastic kind of screen mesh material. So that'll obviously be good for support and all that. And then on the lateral side, the Nike swoosh is like embroidered onto the upper. Also, like I mentioned before, in the forefoot, we have, it looks like a plastic material, right? Yeah, it looks like a plastic material, like coming up, acting as a sidewall for better lateral containment, which of course is good for support. So yeah, it's looking really good so far as like the design goes. And also in the heel, we have a very detailed picture. It says Nike React. That's probably her signature. And like I mentioned before, we have that eye, right? So yeah, as far as the colorways go, what do you guys think looks the best? In this picture, I definitely feel like I think I like the middle one the best, with like that kind of iridescent outsole vibe. And then I guess the bottom one. But I do like the overall like embroidered pattern on the upper. I think that looks great, you know what I mean? So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics. I feel like a lot of you guys will like it, and I'm super duper excited about these. It says it's going to release in the summer, and also we have official images of the Nike Cosmic Unity 3, which I don't think looks too good. The material quality looks great though. You know, it looks like a knit material even almost, and there's a lot of like like wires going throughout the upper. But I mean, the Cosmic Unity 1 and 2 had great quality materials. You know, it was thick, it was cozy, and also very supportive. But also, it didn't feel cheap, it didn't feel like flimsy or anything like that, which is great. And the Cosmic Unity line has always been using full-length zoom strobo, so I'm guessing it has full-length zoom strobo in the Cosmic Unity 3 as well. The outsole pattern looks pretty interesting. It also looks to be a decoupled design. And then in like the midfoot, there is no rubber, it's just like the foam. And the foam is probably crater foam. So crater foam is what Nike's been using. It's like a recycled foam that they're using from all their molds. Kind of like the parts of the midsoles that they didn't use in their other shoes, and they're kind of like molding it into like crater foam and making a midsole so that they save the earth, you know. Of course, it's like kind of like recycling, you know. And then we can also see like a midfoot chain plate. And overall, I mean, yeah, I don't really like how it looks all too much. There also is a window on the lateral side in the midsole, which is pretty cool. It looks pretty interesting. But yeah, the material looks pretty damn nice, especially even in the ankle collar area. But the aesthetics, especially even in this colorway, I'm not a huge fan of, right? But anyways, that about wraps it up for this video. Tell us your thoughts on the Sabrina 1 and also the Cosmic Unity 3. But what do you guys think? I feel like a lot of WNBA players are getting signature shoes, which is cool. You know what I mean? I do like the equal representation, but like as far as like business moves, do you guys think it'll sell? Just because Del Dons didn't, I don't think I've never seen anyone wear the Del Dons. You know what I mean? And also Stewie 1s, I don't really think I've ever seen anyone playing those either. And obviously signature shoes is all about marketing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, they say, I want to play in LeBron's, I want to play in KYRIES. And obviously the looks of the shoe is pretty important as well, but like the player is huge behind the shoe. You know what I mean? Like people want to feel like they're playing Kyrie shoe. You know what I mean? Curry shoe. You know, so as far as like the marketing, I'm not 100% sure like how that'll be, and as far as like sales go, but it is dope that, you know, other people are getting signature shoes. But I feel like we have a lot of signature shoes nowadays, you know what I mean? So we'll have to see, but if it's a good performer, then it's a good performer, and I don't really mind it. And also the Sabrina 1 looks great, right? But anyways, that about wraps it up for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.